this is my perspective on why Quver might just be innocent in all of this, so let's just hop straight into the video. So, if you guys didn't watch my last video on this a day or two ago, I went into the whole situation of the supposed evidence against Qwel, and I say supposed because obviously we don't actually know if this is true or not, since, she hasn't actually released anything yet. Now, when I made that video, I was pretty ill-informed. So, on a bunch of stuff, and obviously I'm not one to just post a one-sided video of a story and just call it a day. I for one hope Qwel actually moves past this and she's able to defend herself because, man, DandysWORLD is just such a good game and I want nothing but the best for the game. But if you've been following my content for a while, you know that I actually first started blowing up on YouTube with DandysWORLD content, so it just has a special place for me and on the channel, and I hate to see that go. But yeah, if you haven't seen my other video, go watch it. I'm not really going to recap what I said in that video because really there's no point, that's redundant. But in this video I'm going to be addressing why hasn't Quver released a response in over a week, why did she shut down the Discord, and why does this whole situation just seem so sketchy. Once again guys, if I'm wrong about literally anything, feel free to call me out in the comments. Just say, hey Q Freedom, you missed this or that, or this isn't right, whatever. If I see your comment, I'll heart it obviously. So to answer the first question, why hasn't Quver issued a response yet? Well, after going through the Discord, it looks like her Discord actually just isn't up, or maybe just not working. And while I'm sure that might have been a legitimate excuse for like a day or so, let's be honest guys, her Discord probably works just fine. Or in reality, at the very least, she could have had one of the people she definitely has in contact with act as some sort of proxy for her. But in my opinion, she's just trying to sort through this whole PR nightmare right now because one wrong move and realistically her whole community can and already has turned on her, basically. I mean, 99% of the people in the Discord already has their mindset on her and the reality of the situation, and without some kind of surefire piece of evidence from her, I'm sure a lot of people will have their doubts for a while. And all of this to say, if Qwel is innocent, she's making a mistake on not giving the community at least something, because silence is a form of an answer, right? If she went about this in the right way, and for example, if I was innocent, I'd be like, hey, this is wrong, this is a horrible situation, I admit I was wrong in some ways, but I'm definitely not, all these things I'm being accused of, so I need some time to get everything sorted out and to clear things up. I digress though, but moving on to my second topic, why did she shut down the Discord? And as this one person points out, I'll put it up on the screen, discussing topics, even against Qwel, is allowed, but only if it is done correctly. And like any developer team I've personally seen, I've covered a lot of games and I've been in contact with a lot of developer teams. What I've seen they do is they shut down the Discord after, heavy protests for whatever reason in the Discord. So while it does look like they were silencing a lot of people, and allegedly they were like removing some comments, against Qwel and all that stuff, a lot of those were most likely because it was probably against their TOS. And their TOS in DandysWORLD, they have like their own community guidelines. You can't really break that. You agree to it when you join the server. Because I can still see a lot of hateful comments left, so it's not like they completely just silenced everybody in the Discord. They left a lot of comments up, or I'd argue like 99% of them. It was only really like people like cussing or really saying some very hateful things that got taken down. But they definitely just shut down the channels because of the massive influx of comments they were getting, and the moderation team just wasn't ready for it because allegedly, Quver's Discord's down, whatever, so she couldn't really instruct her moderation team. They didn't know what to do. At least that's my insight, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. That's just what I've seen. Once again, feel free to correct me, guys. I'm not going to delete any comments or anything, ironically. But moving on to my last topic. Why does this situation just seem so sketchy? And a lot of that has already been answered, I feel like, in the last two topics, but still, I'll break it down for you guys. The whole reason this drama even exists is because of this huge document that got released by an ex-developer and a bunch of YouTubers and influencers just, hot onto the topic, including myself, right? I'm not innocent in that. I saw a situation and I just posted on it. Like I said, if you watch my first video, kind of go into like the first 30 seconds, I woke up, I saw a bunch of drama going on, and I researched it for like 30 minutes and posted a video on it. So, when stuff like that happens, a lot of facts are missed. And if you check the comments in that video, a few people actually do call me out because I was wrong on some things. For example, I said rocks made the document, and that's just completely wrong. The ex-developer made a document, so yeah, that's my bad. But this is understandable of why a lot of people have been very quick to label certain people. And as some people pointed out in my last video, this is actually a very similar situation that happened in this other game called Pressure. And I've played that game before. It's a great game, just like DandysWORLD, but basically what happened in that game is, the same mode, same old, very similar, really. A developer got exposed for stuff, and it turns out that all the people, making these accusations and, spreading all these rumors were just lying as it comes out, and they did end up clearing their name, but as a result, the community kind of just got destroyed. So, on one side, people think Qwel is innocent because think about it like this: who would make a whole 10-page essay just to cancel her for no reason? But it's just the reality we live in, guys. And I'm not saying, everything in here is just lies. This isn't just some huge conspiracy theory. No matter what happens, Quver has hugely mismanaged this whole situation. But then again, you have to think it's a very, very scary situation to be in because she is a kids game developer. You guys have to realize, if all this backfires on her and if she's really innocent, it's bad. But if, she's guilty, her career, her merch, her brand deal, it's all gone. So that's why it probably looks so sketchy on her part. She just has to be very careful in how she clears her name. But that's about it for me, guys. My next video is going to be an update news video, or maybe even like a part 3 to this if more information comes to light. But anyways, if you like this kind of content and my perspective on this, feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks guys for watching. Peace.